So, good day, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting a press conference devoted to the forum of the Chambers of Commerce and Industry of the OIS countries, development of closed cycle economy, cooperation with OIC countries. I'm Sergei Krasnov, the journalist and MC of RBK. I'd like to introduce the guests, but some organizational information. If you have any question, just raise your hand, ask your questions, representing yourself, and tell who is the question to. And I'd like to to mention that we have a recording and online broadcasting of our press conference. So you can visit our website. And now I'd like to introduce the speaker, Sergei Katurin, President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation. Be active, please. Shamil Agaev, the Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Tatarstan. Thank you. And Mohammed Abdul Karim Mohammed Rayed, Chairman of the General Libyan Union of Chambers. So, you're welcome. So, dear guests, I'll ask the first question to you, Sergei Nikolaevich. Could you just give us introductory information about the finals of the yesterday's meetings? Probably there are important events that happened yesterday or any important agreements achieved yesterday, and what are the forthcoming agreements? Thank you very much. We had a lot of events yesterday. I'd like to tell you about today's events. It was a very interesting discussion. The topic was rather complicated, multifaceted issue, and today's speeches were emphasizing the importance of this topic for all the countries, including the Islamic world countries. Each country has its own problems in these areas. Some like some ecological problems or lack of fertilizers, production of organic fertilizers, and commercial usage of secondary raw materials. And we discussed other topics. What were the proposals, you asked me? So we multiply mentioned the necessity of creating joint tools, instruments for Russia and the Islamic world countries that would give us an opportunity to address these problems, to solve them, and we supported this initiative of unanimous efforts. It doesn't matter what the name of the forthcoming agency would be, but it needs to solve these problems, and we have promoted some initiatives from the OIS countries relating to agriculture. And BRICS countries are also referred to Islamic world, and they joined this initiative. And the Ministry of Ecology was also mentioning the necessity to form a full-scale legislation. The figures given today are as follows. The current legislation existing in the 26 countries, which enjoy separate legislation for the closed loop economy or closed cycle economy. These countries actually embrace the major part of the world by the territory, and these countries have the laws referring to the closed cycle economy, and we need the same laws to be adopted in Russia. And it's very important not even to produce something, but the idea before launching the production is also important, and the way we recycle the residues of production. And we've enjoyed a lot of proposals today and agreed to continue the work in this area. And Russia is represented in the Organization for Islamic Cooperation, and through these representatives, Russia can forward its proposals and work at solving the problems in this sphere. Sergei Nikolaevich, I'd like to ask you one more question. Could you disclose the information of the representatives of the countries of the Islamic world, whether they are going to increase the number of the employees in the chambers of commerce and industry? For example, in China, the number of representatives is enough, but what about other countries? Do we need to increase the teams? Strength? Yes, of course, we're considering these opportunities. We have the representatives, our representatives, and we have an office and a car for them, as usual, representative office, and we also have honored representatives. These are usually large-scale businessmen who are involved in this work. And sometimes we have colleagues from other countries, and we issue them the power of attorney to represent the interests of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Altogether, we have about 30 representatives abroad, and those representative offices working against the power of attorney are still very efficient. And that was an interesting figure that actually aroused my gratitude. Yeah, we are planning to increase the number, and we have the representatives in Iran, and we are going to expand the team, and we have 2 representatives in China, 2 honored representatives in Delhi MB, and we are planning to consider issues related to the Arabic world. Probably it will be the representative office in the United Arab Emirates with Mr. Dmitriev, a very good specialist. He works not only in Arab Emirates, but also covers other neighboring Arabic countries, and we are planning to expand the number of representatives, because Islamic worlds include 57 countries, and they are all our friends, making 20% of GDP, and these economies are growing with high speed, with the speeding exceeding the speed of growth in Western countries, and they are very attractive for Russian business. And here we have an opportunity to expand our business. Thank you. I'd like to add.
I would like to add that some representatives are working on behalf of Tatarstan, and where there are visits and missions, so this work is working properly well. Well, Shamil Rahimович, could you please tell us what's the role, or in the upcoming future, what would be the role of Tatarstan in the development of closed-circuit economies in OIC countries? Well, this question has a lot of sides in it, so I couldn't say that Tatarstan would say play a dominant role, but Tatarstan is actively searching for new contacts and new uh, cooperation, looking for new cooperation. So we visit Asian countries, we visit African countries as well. There are some business contacts that we're preparing for it. So I would say that now we are growing all these connections. So it's not a fast-paced process, but we are moving steady. So maybe you have some questions about the representatives in Tatarstan or in Kazan, in Moscow. So does it help, like these offices? Does it speed up the decision making, especially with Arabic countries? I would say that personal context is a big deal. So I would say that through our chamber, there are many representatives of Iran, China, Turkey, Malaysian, Pakistan. So we have a steady work on it. So sometimes we don't need these steady skills, but we need responsible people who have influence, as Sergei Nikolaevich said. So they should be trustworthy. So that is why we're working on it. So we cannot really trace it, but it's quite steady. Unfortunately, these connections that we had with Western world, with states, with European Union, so unfortunately they are frozen, but we haven't torn it. So I've never thought before you said that it's a well. I think that this work that is not visible, it shouldn't be very hard. But like, thank you for that. So, dear Mr. Mohammed, right? So, could you tell to the journalists what are we waiting and what your country is expecting from the cooperation of you and especially with Tatarstan?
Good morning for everybody. Thank you, President, and thank you to the President of the Chamber of Commerce. I am here in Kazan for first time, and I share in this Kazan forum. It is very good, and thank you for the invitation. This Kazan forum is big and strong, and a lot of companies and Chamber of Commerce comes from many countries, and I am happy to be here to make connection with the companies from Russia or from Tatarstan and from Kazan, and it's a good opportunity to tell that Libya is much better than before. Libya is stable, and Libya has a lot of opportunities to make investment or to work in Libya, because Libya is not built yet. Many companies or many media speak about to rebuild Libya. I tell you, Libya is not built yet, and we want to build Libya, and we have a lot of opportunities, a lot of work. Libya has a lot of oil, a lot of minerals, and Libya is a virgin country, which has a very good location in gate of Africa, and is very close to Europe, and small population, only 7 million population in big area, 1,700 square kilometers, and we have big quantity of gas and big reserve of gas and oil, and all or most of the minerals available in Libya. We have sunshine, which is the biggest or the best in the world to make energy, solar energy. Also, Libya need a lot of investment. We have very good law for investment. So we are here to tell you that Libya is stable, and a lot of companies come back to Libya. A lot of companies make big investment in Libya, from Italy, from China, from Germany, We have a lot of opportunities to work in oil sector because we want to increase our production or to double our production in these 2 years. So we have a lot of opportunity, and we think and we are great that Russian companies, big companies, and can work in Libya and oil sector and railway and many things we need to do by big companies like Russian companies. So you are welcome, and I am here to tell you that we are happy as a Union of Chamber of Commerce. We can help the Russian companies to, or the businessmen from Russian companies to come to Libya. We can facilitate all the things for visa, for arranging meeting in Libya. And we are also happy to make joint venture between the Libyan and Russian companies. Also, we are happy to invite the Russian companies to, or the Chamber of Commerce in Kazan or Tatarstan, to visit Libya and see the situation there and see the opportunities for the work in Libya. Again, Libya, there is no problem. The problem only fighting on money. There is no agenda, no problems between Libyans. We are all Libyans. We are all Arab. We are all Muslims. So the fighting in Libya is to control the money. That's all. Now we have to distribute the money on the Libyan places as a governor or regions, and we hope that we are going to best and good opportunities in Libya, which is make us make the good cooperation. And we want to make renew the Libyan Russian Council, which is was before 2011, and now we want to make good relation with the Chamber of Commerce and invite all the companies to visit and work in Libya. You are welcome.
Господин Мохаммед, спасибо.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. So a little clarification question. So to attract investors from Tatarstan, from Russia, do you have any decisions or laws on the governmental level that would guarantee or maybe give subsidies or preferences to businessmen, to investors? And are you ready to make this money circulation in rubles?
Sure that in Libya we have very good investment law which guarantee the money of the investor, and we are helping any company to want to invest in Libya, and the law is guarantee all the money or the investor money and investor project, which is by the law nobody can touch or make any problem for the investor. And I am the member of the board of the investment authority in Libya, and give license for the investors to come to Libya and start working under the law, and nobody touch these companies. So you are welcome, and we are ready to help you for these things.
But I haven't heard about, are you ready to receive payments in rubles?
Receive money in rubles, what it means in English, I don't know. Please translate in better way to understand exactly. To receive money in rubles, what's the meaning? No.
So they are called mutual payments.
Or receive money against contracts.
Mutual payments. So you receive money from Russia, and Russia gives like rubles. And are you ready to accept this currency? this currency as an investment? Are you ready to accept investments in rubles?
I don't. It's not my object because Libyan bank have rules. I think there is no problem if there is agreement between Libyan bank and the Russian bank. Maybe for me there is no problem. But the Libyan central bank, they have rules, and they should make contact. And this is, I think there is no problem. We have to work on all the currencies, no problem. Now we are working with the euro, dollar, Tunisian dinar only, I think, which is officially work with the bank. But there is no problem to make an agreement and accept ruble also.
Спасибо большое за то, что наш...
Thank you very much that you found this time and opportunity to answer it, as it is very important, as we are talking on a very thin places, so to make investments work and all this economic cooperation would lead to the next level. Sergey Nikolaevich, the question to you. So, well, tomorrow, well, actually, like in October, we will the Kazan will host BRICS. As you are the chairman of the BRICS business unit, so can you tell any well movements, like how the preparation process is working on?
Yes, that's obvious. It's it's a test drive for us when leaders of many countries get together here at this forum. But it's a very important event. I mean, Russia Islamic World Forum, and it gives us a good experience and helps us to get prepared for BRICS Forum. We have a very thick program, and there are certain aspects at which we're working tightly. You know that 5 more countries joined us. These are the countries of the Islamic world, and these are our allies. What is difficult about that? We are just forming just business councils. According to the rules, each of the OIC countries approves 5 members for the council of the National Council, and he organizes the work in the working groups. Altogether, there are 8 working groups now. They cover all the key areas of economy. In order to enjoy full-scale work for these new countries, they need to form these councils, and this should be just entrepreneurs who will work in these groups. They work non-stop, because in contrast to a business council, which gets together 3-4 times a year, in addition to national sittings, the working groups work actually each month through various means of communication, and they discuss very urgent everyday issues. So I think we'll stick to the same practice, and at the end of the year, we form a report which is then forwarded to the heads of our countries. This year it will happen on the 22nd of October. So the second difficult aspect is that all the solutions taken by the Business Council and in the working groups are the consensus decisions. So it's not the case that there is the majority for, majority against. So the decision should be taken by all the members, and that's why it's a bit difficult to reach an agreement when you are 5, but when you are 10, it's even more difficult. But so the colleagues are just test driving this mode of work. Probably they have actually no idea how this works. These working groups operate, but the third difficult aspect is that we have a lot of events, over 20 events altogether in Russia. As it's presiding in BRICS, Russia holds about 100 events altogether in various agencies, smaller or large companies. So it's a very thick plan, and we have already held a lot of events, and so the work is in progress, but there are some difficulties relating to inclusion of these new countries, and some ministries not always are not always are well informed about their work, but still the work is conducted in the non-stop mode, and some of the countries have already appointed people who are supposed to supervise this work. This is Egypt among these countries, and within the nearest few days, all the countries will offer their team members. But the work is held non-stop, so no matter how people are participating, So it's a usual situation when the new countries just start working, and in October, I think on the 17th or 18th of October, we'll have a final sitting of the working group and sitting of the business council and the business forum, involving not only business councils of the working groups, but a lot of businessmen, entrepreneurs from BRICS will be invited there to Moscow into a large business center, and then we'll present reports to the leaders of our countries. And now we are just determining whether we go there with the whole team or just only some representatives will be sent. And I'd like to express great respect to Kazan. And I understand that it's a great deal to host leaders of 10 countries with some assistance, and there are a lot of people who want to come here. Of course, we want everyone to come, all the 50 people, but it depends on the organizational opportunities. And Kazan has always provided the top standard for such events. And yes, as I mentioned, it depends on the just opportunities, our opportunities to host guests. But of course, we'll present this annual report, and I think all the countries will prepare it. And as for its content, it's the matter of work in progress. The South Africa was presiding in the previous year. It was the turn of Brazil to preside, but they have some large-scale events in their country, and that's why they asked Russia to preside in this year. And I am absolutely sure that everything will be done at the top level. But you'll also host sporting events in June. We'll overcome all the difficulties. Thank you very much. I think, as far as I can see, there are no questions from the audience. I'd like to thank our speakers, and I wish you fruitful work, and welcome to Kazan today and in the nearest future days. Thank you.